Hello, this is Tony Purcell, the relationship expert, and today, in this fourth part of the video series, we're going to talk about marriage. I know, big surprise, right? That's what we always talk about. But that's what this video is about. In fact, you could say that marriage is what brings us together today. Now, some of you will get that joke, and probably most of you have absolutely no clue. So, good luck with that. So, remember this drawing that you guys love so much, and fourth part, we're going to talk about marriage and how marriage is a mirror. So remember in the last video we talked about these emotions and how we don't need to feel these things. Now here's what most people do is they're feeling some of these negative emotions. They're feeling lonely, they're feeling depressed, they're feeling self-conscious, and they think that when they get married, all of a sudden they're going to feel like all these negative things will go away and they'll be filled with all of the positive things, that their spouse is going to give them all of what they're lacking inside. And then somehow they get married and that doesn't happen. They're not fulfilled and satisfied, and in fact, what often happens is that they feel more of these emotions than they ever have before. And so many people live, and in their marriage is the source. Their marriage is the source of the greatest amount of anger. They're super nice to everyone, but they're horrible and always lose their temper with their spouse. Their marriage is the greatest amount source of fear and of sorrow and of depression and of frustration, of pain, of hatred, of scarcity. And they're thinking, what in the heck? And that's why I stand for this happily ever after. Who lied to me? Because people get married and they're thinking, what in the heck? I thought this was going to give me all the fulfillment, and it's not, and in fact it's giving more of what I didn't want. And here's the greatest secret, is that all it is a mirror reflecting back to you what was deep inside of you. See, it's one thing to feel happy and have good relationships when all of your relationships are on the surface. But what happens when you try to take one relationship and try to go really, really deep with it? What usually happens is it brings out this, and all that it's doing is bringing out more of what's already inside of you. It's just been deeper. That's why the other relationships in your life didn't bring those out, because they weren't deep enough. And so all of a sudden you get married, and your marriage brings out these things that are deep inside of you, and yet instead of learning the lesson, you've been blaming your spouse and saying the reason why, and it makes it pretty obvious. It's like, look, before I was married I was happy, at least happier, and now that I'm married all this stuff is coming out. It must be my spouse's fault. But no, it is not, because nobody has the power to change your emotions. Nobody has the power to pull you out of alignment of who you really are, which means if you find yourself out of alignment, you've got some lessons to learn. And here becomes one of the greatest secrets of marriage, is that marriage is not just some relationship to make everything better. Marriage is a relationship that is designed to teach you more about yourself. Marriage is the greatest tool for personal development, and that's why I say that creating powerful marriages through personal empowerment. Because it's only through personal empowerment that you can fix the relationship, because the stuff that comes up in your marriage is a reflection of what's going on inside of you. Every single problem in a relationship requires two people to be a part of the problem. And guess what? If you take yourself out of being part of the problem and instead put yourself into a place of being part of the solution, then the problem goes away. So how do you take yourself out of being part of the problem? When the problem comes up, don't point the finger at your spouse and say it's all your fault. Point the finger at yourself and ask the question, what am I supposed to be learning from this experience? Learn the lesson, and the problem goes away. So here's what you do from here. If you want to start being part of the solution in your marriage and to empower yourself personally and to empower the marriage, follow the link down below and go to wholiedtome.com. And there you will find a 4-part video series that will teach you more about these principles we've been talking about, and specifically how to apply them to your marriage so that you truly can transform your marriage and create that marriage that you dreamed of when you first got married. So again, right below the video there should be the link. Go to wholiedtome.com and I will see you there.